listening to The Downside.
The Downside.
With Gianmarco Soresi.
I think my manager wants me to hire a publicist, but I'm just not going to do it.
Why? Why?
Thank you.
Get a publicist.
It just doesn't matter anymore. I think a lot of these things don't matter anymore.
What are you talking about? Listen, some of it, you're right. So the podcast
Yeah.
circuit, certainly. But you want to get on the cover of GQ, show them your workout routine on the road?
No. As a matter of fact, I was watching the Emmys, and somebody who won an award, who I was actually their RA at NYU.
Oh, yeah?
And I was literally playing video games on Twitch. I was streaming, and I had the Emmys on the side.
Yeah.
And I just was thinking, he's winning an Emmy, and I'm here playing fucking video games.
You went to college, you in your grade, Alana Glazer, John Early, and Kate Berlant?
And Miles Teller, and Ismael Cordoba Cruz is on the... And Chloe Fineman the year below me. And, I mean, like, the 2 to 3 years surrounding my year is absolutely astounding.
Well, none of them were available today, so welcome to The Downside. Morgan J., how you doing?
Am I okay in your monitor?
You're great. We'll change
Okay.
it. We'll affect it. And I'm also we're in Spotify Studios in LA, so we got our producer Paige Asachika here
Hello.
Paige.
on the mic. Morgan, we'll get to you in a second.
Yeah.
I was at my mom. My mom lives here, and she didn't show me. She's in the past. She's had a cutoff of what pictures she shows us, and it's the nose job. No pictures pre nose job. For a while, that's like it was like, especially online. She was like, "Do not post pictures pre nose job." But I think something broke.
I think that's inspiring to show that.
Yeah. And she showed me, and they were badass. She had pictures of her smoking a bong. She had pictures. She was like cool. She went to Studio 54 when she was like 16.
Yeah.
And did all sorts
I think my
of
mom did
illegal
that
stuff.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they lived in New York.
They were in a Great Neck.
Yeah, my parents live in White Plains now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think your mom was she a party animal?
I don't know. She told me one story that I'd rather not repeat on here, but I don't think she was that much. I mean,
Did she tell you a story as a cautionary tale, or like a look how cool your mom
no,
is?
because I was asking her questions, and obviously, like, you know, just it's actually kind of rare. It's actually kind of shocking how little we know about our parents. You know,
looking at these pictures, yeah, you had a whole fucking
you have
life.
we have no idea because they've been alive. It's just really shocking what we don't know,
And
and
there's
to
only
this moment, what we don't know.
There's only certain times.
Think of the things that we do.
If your mom, let's say you found out your mom, because if we ever have kids, they could go.
I just had a vasectomy.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Whoa.
2 or
Oh
3
my
weeks
God!
ago.
Talk to me about it.
How
So okay, what do they do? Is it like a one thing that they're cutting?
I was awake. They put some iodine. You got to shave the day before. They put some iodine on it.
Full shave.
Full shave, which I already be shaving my balls like that. So
Yeah,
And,
just the balls.
well, I don't shave like this area that.
No, I meant
like,
the surgery. Where does it go into the balls, or it's
show
just the ball? Guys, Spotify video, check it out.
No, so it's like there's two part, like one side in this ball, one side in this ball, and then they grab your vas deferens, which is where the semen comes out of, and then
Wait, is there one in each ball?
there's one on each side, yeah, because you have two balls.
Vas
There's
deferens.
two, yeah, there's two vas deferens.
Thank you. Is it inside the ball or around? Where's the vas? I've never heard of this.
So if this is the ball, there's like, and this is the penis. So you have the ball here.
Okay.
There's like a little thing that comes out and goes, and then comes out and goes, and then he's like, you're not gonna really feel pain, but you're gonna feel like a tug, and then afterwards you'll feel like a bit of soreness, and it's like when you cut yourself and it's like a paper cut. It's like, have you ever had somebody gently graze your balls and you're like, ugh?
Yeah.
So for the next day you kind of feel like that all day.
Whoa.
And you gotta ice
How
your
long
balls
does the surgery take?
About 40 minutes, 20 to 40 minutes.
And
you're
are you
awake.
like lying back on the table?
I literally was lying back playing poker on my phone the whole time,
Oh my God.
like this. I was playing poker because I was nervous about it, and I just didn't want to think about it, and I just played poker the whole time. And he talked me through. I even asked him. I said, "What if you had what if you had a bad night of sleep last night? Like, do you ever think about?"
He cuts off the whole shaft.
I just was asking him. I'm like, sometimes I think about these doctors that got like C's and D's and
Well,
they just made it.
No,
And I'm
I don't
like,
think they let people graduate if they get.
Yeah, I don't
really
think
low.
there's D doctors.
Like
I mean,
you have
maybe.
to be like the top 80% or 70% of your.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the other ones
yeah.
become podiatrists.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like they said, like that-
Chiropractors or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Chiropractors. I
Do you
don't know
believe
what
in that?
No.
No, okay.
No, I think it's so bad because my girlfriend really like wants it.
I don't know if I believe it in either. I mean, I'll crack my own. I'll do a little crack, but I don't.
I'm sure some things feel good.
If you can
but
take that out of
no.
context to say I'm gonna do a little crack, I just said I'll do a little crack.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll use it.
yeah.
Even if I had a ball surgery and they said I'm also if they were what's the ball surgeon called? What's that kind? Is that a
He's a urologist.
urologist?
Yeah,
Urologist.
penis.
Yeah.
Penis,
Is there
yeah.
one? So they don't split the penis and the balls into different professions.
Penis, ball. Yeah, I think it's the penis and the balls are the same.
Sure.
I mean, OBGYN doesn't split the ovaries and the
Right.
vagina.
But are there doctors that are like multi-hyphenate? They're like
like actors and performers?
urologist,
I'm a writer, actor.
I'm sure in LA, I'm a urologist, ENT,
Yeah,
and model.
yeah, and DJ who plays the trumpet or something. I met one of those. That's why I always bring it up.
What made you make that decision? You're allowed. Wait, you could reverse it, right?
Yeah, he was really candid about it. He was like, yeah, and just so you know, obviously the longer you wait to reverse it, the harder it is to reverse it. But if you really want to have kids, we'll just go right to the source and just take some right of your balls.
Whoa.
I mean,
Really?
people do IVF all the time. They'll take it out,
But is the thing repairable as well?
It is, but that is a much more involved process. But
Because you're reconnecting a fucking tube.
yeah, but I'm 37 now, and my partner she's 34, and we've talked about it at length. And I travel a lot, and on the road, I get into shenanigans, and
Sure.
this year I had something that popped up that really put the fear of God in me.
Oh God.
And not to get into too many specifics, but
I think we got a degree of specificity. How scared? Were you freaked out?
oh yeah, it was,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a very it was very wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's most of the stories of the guys that come into that office.
No, he said he was like, you're well below the age of what I normally deal with.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, my
Yeah.
stepdad got it eventually. It was weird because they told us, and I think my only
Do you
thought
have siblings?
I have half siblings,
Half siblings. Yeah.
but it was or my ex stepdad now, technically speaking. But when I remember hearing it that he was getting it, I thought, oh, all you're really telling me is you want to blow loads in my mom. Like, is
Yeah.
that like that's what I took away from it? And I said, that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't need to know.
I think in my situation, it's more of like a peace of mind thing, if anything were to arise. Because I'm realizing now I'm, not to toot my own horn, but I've entered a certain, Channing Tatum follows me. I mean, Like, I'm.
Yeah,
I'm
you want to be
entering,
able to come on Channing
wanna
without
be able to-
too much trouble.
Yeah, no.
But you do a lot of stuff. You know Nick Cannon. I mean,
I mean,
is that a cautionary?
he was my boss for a little bit.
Sure.
I don't know. I had a joke about how if Nick Cannon uses a condom with you, it has to be a little bit offensive.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to be like, what's that about?
Sure.
You don't
How
want
many kids is he at now?
12, 11 or 12?
Whoa.
But that's not. I mean, Eddie Murphy has 12, I think, and there's a lot of people who have. The Duggards have 20.
Really?
Once
you hit a certain point, though, it feels like you're going like this. Is how I feel about Elon Musk. Like there's an urge of like I think he wants an army. There's a vision of
Elon Musk
I'm gonna
has
have
how many kids?
We don't know. We don't know. There's always seems to be a new
We
one
don't
popping
know?
up. He's got kids. He's got former kids who don't want to speak to him anymore.
Oh.
But yeah, there's been some unknown
Does he
kids that
does
have
he
popped up.
autism?
I think he claims
Somebody's-
yes.
yeah.
Yes, he does. But he's not getting his balls. He'd be mad.
Do you think a lot of people who say they have autism have autism? You could be honest with me.
I haven't thought about the exact question. I feel like people often say people have autism more than they actually have it.
I think there is a epidemic of people like self-diagnosing and taking these tests and doing
Sure.
deep dive analytics on like every part of their being, and then somehow this wasn't going to be my thing that this has to stop, but like
Well, you can have multiple ones. That's
Yeah.
just so we make sure we have one. I think all categories are you're trying to come up with a delineation, and everything's a spectrum.
Yeah.
And so there is an attempt to people that have maybe something of a slightly. I sometimes I could say I have OCD or I don't. Like there is a line. I have some obsessive thoughts. I
Yeah.
do check the stove sometimes. My therapist said I have mild OCD. What the
Yeah.
fuck does she know? I mean, it's loose. These are soft sciences.
Yeah. I mean, like when I went to therapy, when I started going to therapy, I don't go to therapy anymore, but when I went to therapy for a little bit, I finally like accepted that I had anxiety. I didn't know what anxiety was. And
Now, tell me why you think? Because I knew I had anxiety from the beginning. So let's talk about your childhood.
Yeah,
Tell me about your
I mean,
childhood.
look, my dad.
What kind of
died-
kid were you?
I'll give you the cliff notes. My dad died when I was 6. My mom worked 3 jobs, single mom. My stepdad has Parkinson's.
Can I ask? Let me ask about your dad. Do you have a lot of memories?
Not many.
Yeah.
Just a couple.
Now he was an Argentinian
he was-
pop star.
He was he was born in Sicily, grew up in Argentina, and he was a pop star in Argentina. Then he moved to New York and became a chef.
Do you? Okay.
And died when I was 6. He was 20 years older than my mother.
Whoa.
20 years older than. So he
Yeah.
died. How old was he when he died?
56, 57.
56. That's still young.
Do you got a problem with that, internet? That my dad was 20 years. You think we want to talk about it?
Sure, go for. I mean,
No,
he's already been canceled. I mean,
no, literally. Somebody. This is.
I mean,
Can I tell you something? So my father was born in 1936.
Mhm.
This is there's gonna be a soundbite here, and somebody's gonna do a deep dive at some point.
Yeah.
He was born in 1936. He was born in Sicily.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 12 years old, in 1940 something, he moved to Argentina.
Oh, you're saying.
I'm wondering if my grandparents were like fascists.
Well, let me tell you. I had another episode. There's a picture of my great grandpa posing with Mussolini.
Interesting.
And I put it out there, and some people said, "Hey, everyone was posing with Mussolini." It would be
Yeah.
like I listen. I don't know about history to make this claim, but it would be like everyone has a picture of George Bush, and then if America
Yeah.
fell, we'd be like, that was a monstrous war criminal, and we actually have.
We
the
all had R.
facts.
Kelly on a playlist for a wedding at some point.
I don't like that with the P. Diddy thing. Everyone goes. I'm like, he had a lot of parties with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Everyone, you've been to parties
I would've
with
left early,
people who are
always.
now registered sex offenders. It's just no one took a picture of you. No one took a picture. Nobody cares. So listen, I'm sure some people were doing some bad stuff with P. Diddy, but
Yeah.
not everyone who took a picture. It's not fair. It's not fair to say, oh, you took a picture. He was on fucking everything. He was on the Chris Gethard show.
Wait,
P.
P. Diddy
Diddy
was?
got around. Yeah, he was on an episode
he
for
really
some
did
reason.
do a lot.
Whoa.
He really did do a lot. Guy was just enjoying life,
It's one of those things. It's one
I'm
of
gonna
those.
take these off. Is that okay?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. As long as you guys could hear me, I hope I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're probably a year away from being invited to the P. Diddy. What's it called? The White Party.
The white party. Things are getting kooky.
You look like you're dressed like you're getting ready. You're halfway
I am
to head to the P.
I'm
Diddy White
excited.
Party.
I'm excited what the future holds. I'm
Someone should
very
take that
scared.
mantle. Someone's got to start hosting them again. Who's
Well,
going to bring them back?
I used to host Sunday Funday brunch days here. I'd have these very good
Oh.
big Sunday Funday brunch day parties
What do you mean at your house?
in my place. Yeah,
And what would you do?
60, 70 people. We just hang out and have talk shit and have snacks and then we'd get the baby oil out and we would do something nefarious, some
You had,
nature.
you had one side who had the vasectomies, one side who didn't. And you wanted to be on the non.
Yeah.
Okay, so your father, he
Yeah.
moved. Where did he meet your mom? In America?
In America, in New York.
So he
They worked in Chelsea.
what made him leave his pop stardom to become a chef?
I think you just can't be like that for your whole life.
Really?
Especially-
How long was he doing that for?
It's probably a small period of time. These are things I would like to know. I don't
Yeah.
know the answers.
Yeah.
How what kind of music? Because I was pulling up a song on the way here.
It's like,
But
it was like surfer rock type of in Spanish music,
Like
and
Beach Boys?
type of stuff. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Good singer? Like
Yeah,
how
good
much have you
singer.
listened? How much have you
I digitized about 30 of his songs. I put them on SoundCloud.
Um,
Ricardo. He went by Ricardo Roda.
was he very sexual in his presentation?
He was a handsome guy.
Yeah.
I don't know my phone is, but he was. My brother looks more like him than I do.
How's your brother? Older? Younger?
Yeah, I'm the youngest, and I'm the least attractive one.
Okay, sure. How many older siblings do you have?
2.
Two?
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
so
SOS. There's no service here.
great.
Never mind.
How much do you remember? Did your dad sing around the house?
Can I just say something real quick? I'm so nervous
Why are you nervous?
about
Aw.
being no. I'm not like nervous, but I'm worried that I'm a bad podcast guest because I have done several podcasts with people who have not put I did a podcast with
I heard this Whitney Cummings.
Whitney Cummings, Zach Noe Towers. I did a podcast with Dumbfounded, who with another person we ended up redoing the podcast, and I'm worried that I'm just not. I don't bring the sound bites or the
I'll bring it.
clips.
I'll bring it. I'll get it out of you.
Okay, I'm worried.
Let me tell you something, Morgan. We are releasing this episode.
100%.
You have a guarantee
Oh, is
that we're not fucking up our schedule with any not releasing of
Yeah,
episodes.
I won't let
Okay.
it happen.
Even if it ended now,
We would
we'd
release
still
it.
be
Still
releasing it.
release
It's
it.
still that's all they'd be getting for the week.
Okay, fair enough.
We've never not released an episode. There was one or
That's true.
two. There were one or two that I felt pained that I had to
Yeah.
release because they were rough.
Yeah,
But we got it.
I did Adam Carolla's show, and I remember that's when I had a publicist, and I did it, and I didn't know what I was really what I was walking into, and it was pretty interesting.
Sure, I don't want
put that
to. I don't
one
want to
up.
do those because I'm going to have to be so combative
then
depending
I-
on what they say.
But then I asked the publicist, I was like, "Do you think it would have been a good idea for me to like really argue with this man about certain things?"
just
And would it have
depends.
been-
It's like it's being able to not
But I'm
fall
in his
into like
house.
like if I went on Joe Rogan,
Yeah.
which is not an. I probably wouldn't. I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't.
I would.
Yeah, I get it.
I would.
I get it. But like, I don't want Joe Rogan to go, oh, so you believe in trans rights. What about this school 2 years ago where a trans woman hit a volleyball and a little girl's head exploded? What do you think about that? And I'd be like, well, I don't know the specifics of that. And it's like not
It's a
falling into
nuanced
the trap.
conversation.
Renan Hirschberg has such a good bit about global warming where it's like he argues with someone who has false information,
Yeah.
but he doesn't have any information really. He doesn't know the
Yeah,
facts, and he goes like fake information is more powerful than no information. I know you're wrong, but I can't argue with it, and it's such a good articulation of
Yeah.
the trap you can fall into.
Because a sensible like a real smart person realizes they actually don't know anything. Right?
Absolutely,
You
or
know?
they just go back. There was recently there's a viral clip. It was like a person who wrote a book that kind of spoke about Israel being like apartheid, like just the different levels, and you know this morning show host was being like, well, are you saying Israel doesn't have a right to exist? Like they bring it back to that framing, and he was saying, I think it's wrong to separate people in this system, and it's like it's knowing those debate tactics, which I don't. That's not my bag, so I don't want to go on Piers Morgan unless I'm ready to take a debate class.
Yeah, no, I
and
never was
remember
good at
those ad absurdum, all those little Latin phrases.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be great. We're great.
Okay.
We're going
good.
great so far.
Good.
But I want to know what it's like to have a dad with this kind of legacy.
Yeah, so I started playing piano. I mean, these are the memories I have of him. He used to sing La Bamba on the guitar to me, and he also sang the Barney "I Love You" song to me.
Aw.
And he also, when we worked in a restaurant, so when I got home from kindergarten, he would be there to pick me up at the bus station for the most part before
Aw.
work.
So you have all really fond
Yeah,
memories.
yeah.
Do you ever talk to your brothers about? Do you ever feel like it's two brothers?
Two brothers, yeah.
Do you ever feel like they got so much more of him? Do you ever ask?
But our family is really interesting. I have a really like segmented, kind of broken up family because my oldest brother is a half brother, and so my dad is not his dad. And
Oh, your dad married your mom. She already had a kid.
yeah. So
Okay.
my mom had my brother at like 17 or 18 in Brazil.
In Brazil.
And then she came here and he stayed there so his upbringing was a little bit, he stayed there for a little bit until she could bring him over.
Okay.
And then she had my brother, I was about to say names, but I don't know if that matters. But she had my brother. And then my dad died when my brother was like 10, which is arguably a very like one of the toughest times to go through either divorce or a death of a parent or something like that.
Sure. Is
And
that
then-
what people say? Is that like
That is
a
what
thing?
people say. Yeah.
Yeah.
9 to 11 is like this very. You're like you're conscious enough to know what's going on. Like I'm 5 or 6, so I'm still a little bit like plastic and malleable, and I can handle this a little bit better. You know.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I don't even really know what. Like there's like a sense of there's a hole or whatever, but I don't. It's not as deep. Like I don't even know what to miss really because I never got to.
Do you remember at that age being depressed or grieving, or was it like?
I remember this is what I remember honestly. It was the first time I rode in a limousine because it was we went to a funeral.
Yeah.
I remember
That is.
I remember
that
that.
is crazy. That's the first limousine.
Yeah.
My first limousine was like prom.
Yeah.
It was a joyous experience.
Yeah, first time in a limousine. And then I remember like shortly after that my mom sat us all down in the living room and was like, you know, things are going to be really tough. Like I need you guys to like, you know, be like good boys and like big boys and like be able to handle this, you know.
Was your oldest brother there at this point?
At this point, yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I think he was just about to finish. See, I'm 6. He's about 13 years older than me. Yeah, he was about to finish high school. I think he was about to go to college. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And so, and then, yeah. In him
And
we
was
trust.
it
Okay.
surprising, or did you
Just
know,
kidding, sorry.
was your father ill for so long that it was
Yeah, I
like,
had colon cancer. And from what I understand, he had it, and then he beat it, and then it came back because he was a big, like, red meat, smoking, drinking, gambling, alpha
cigars or cigarettes or both?
Cigars,
Yeah.
both cigarettes, alcohol, like alpha male Argentinian type of
Yeah.
guy. And
But Sicilian, I mean Italian.
Sicilian and Argentinian.
But he just moved there. Or he's both.
He's both.
He's
yeah.
both,
Well,
okay.
you know, he grew up most of his life in Argentina.
Sure.
And then, from what I understand, big gambling situation. You know, I think from what I understand is like once he got the diagnosis again that he had, I think it was like 4 months to live. Could be wrong about this, Mom. If you see this, you can correct me and all this later. But once he got the diagnosis that he had 4 months to live, I think he ended up living 4 years or something like that.
Yeah.
But he just was like, if this ship is gonna go down, we're gonna burn this ship to the ground. So he gambled a lot, he drank a lot, and just like,
Sure.
not in a way that was like, I don't think any of us ever, at least with, he just was like, how most European or South American people are, they drink and they have a good time. Like when I was growing up.
By the way, I don't have much of a South American stereotype, but you're painting it full. It'll be my new stereotype every time I meet a South American.
But if you go to a party in South America or in Europe, like they eat later. Kids are kind of like an afterthought in the sense that like, if the kids pass out on the sofa while we're having drinks and we're partying, like they're gonna just fall asleep on the sofa.
Yeah.
And so like we gotta put the kids to bed. It's like no, they're just gonna stay up also until they fall asleep. I don't know,
Sure.
do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It sounds fun. It sounds better.
Yeah.
I remember I was at a restaurant with an ex-girlfriend in West Hollywood, and it was like we were having it was like 9 or 10, and like these Italian people were out, and like their kids were just like falling asleep on the. It was like almost 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like the kids, it was like a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old.
It's nice. It feels so much more organic. It
Yeah,
feels
that's
like
how I
feels
feel.
keep the kids around. Let the kids get to know adults Yeah.
I agree with that. I personally think that's, although then again, I don't plan on having kids. So
Sure. We'll see. You never know. You feel dead set?
Huh?
You feel dead set?
No, I don't feel dead set. But I have 4 nephews and
That's what I don't have.
You don't have any-
a nephew or a niece. God, I'm
you
dying
want one?
for one.
I don't even think I'm a good uncle.
Have you molested them? No. That you're doing a pretty
No,
good
but I-
job.
You
But
seem
don't
like
always
you're
get-
like the cool uncle.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something?
I'm sure you go
I
over
have-
with your auto-tune and go like,
So
what's your name?
my brother told me that his 2 kids, of all the things that I've achieved, and of all the things that they think of like a famous person is, the fact that I have a silver YouTube plaque. My brother was like, if you bring that to New Jersey and
Oh my
show that to them,
God.
they will absolutely lose their fucking shit.
What makes you think you're not a good uncle? You're just not there enough.
I'm not there a lot. I don't really like send a lot of gifts, but these, they have most of everything they need.
You do one good gift a year. You do one video game system a year.
But these kids, they don't give a shit. They like play Roblox. Nothing impresses them.
What do you mean? Kids don't want things. Nothing impresses them. You get them the new system, or you'll be able to get like a Ariana Grande saying hi or whatever they're into.
Yeah. Honestly, you know what they want? They just want their uncle to spend time with them and like while they're watching them play video games. Literally,
Well, you can't give them that.
can't give them that.
You're busy.
I'm busy selling out theaters.
So your dad, that was his restaurant. Was it his restaurant that he had?
No, he was just working there. It was on like 28th between 9th and I don't think it's there anymore, but yeah, he was a chef there. He was known as the singing chef.
Hey.
He was written up in the New York Times and everything.
That's so cool.
So he would cook you a meal and he would come out and then he would sing with his guitar. He sang for like a bunch of celebrities: Robert De Niro, Al Pacino,
Oh, yeah?
Anthony Quinn. I have a guitar that's all like autographed by all these different people from him.
Oh my
Can you
God.
play any of his songs? Do you ever learn?
No, I haven't. I should though.
Do you think your mom would be moved by it, or would it be?
My mom would. She's been wanting me to write and sing normal songs since I started this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so where did you learn how to play guitar, piano?
It just came to me one night.
Actually.
Really?
No, I took like 2 months of guitar lesson and then I did piano for about 10 years. Sorry, I thought that was going to be funnier, but it wasn't.
It's just so believable. It was a good
Yeah,
acting
thank
choice.
you. Thank you.
So, and what did your mom do for work?
She worked in the coat room when she met my dad, and then after that, after he passed away, she worked at a restaurant for a little bit.
Did he like leave a number in his coat? Did she put the number in there? You ever find?
I don't know. My mom was new to America, and I don't know. She worked the coat room. He was the chef,
Yeah.
and I don't know. Do
Do you think your dad was like, he was like a ladies' man? Like
100%?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So what did your mom do for work after that?
Oh yeah, caretaker, cleaned houses, worked at a restaurant.
Was there a real shift in your lifestyle after your
Um,
dad passed away?
No, I think I just saw my mom probably a little bit less, and she just had
Sure.
to work a shit ton more, and she was probably under a lot more duress,
Yeah.
having to raise 3 kids on her own,
Yeah.
until she met my stepdad.
And so when
know.
she was was the stepdad, who's still your stepdad?
Yeah.
Was that the first guy she brought in your life as a parental figure?
Yeah.
Was it?
So that's another thing, right? Like,
Yeah,
he's more my father than my father is.
of course.
So my relationship with him, my brother's relationship with him, my other brother, like we all have different relationships with each other.
Sure.
I mean, even now, I started relearning Portuguese, and I'm speaking Portuguese with my mom now, and she's a completely different person in another language.
How so?
She's like more affectionate. She's more warm when you speak
Really?
to her.
Aw.
Yeah, she calls me
That's
dear
really
and
cool.
sweetie and honey. And,
That's wild.
Aw.
and I think there is something to that. I don't know if it's because the language is warmer or anything. Like, are your parents, do they speak another language?
No, they just speak English.
Okay, so you're like second gen American?
Fourth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
My parents speak Japanese.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, yeah, I don't know if it just has something to do with that, but like it's her native tongue, and yeah. So like we're just getting to know. There's like parts of these people that we don't know, like especially with my father, and my brother probably knows things about him that I
Yeah.
don't, or has a different experience with him than I do.
Do you remember when he first came into your life? Did you like him right away? Was he?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I had no point of reference, to be honest with you.
Sure, but it's a father figure. My stepdad was definitely a different.
He was
brought
cool
a
'cause
different
he-
energy to the house.
He won us over with money. I think he was a lawyer. He bought us a lot of things and took us out.
Oh, yeah?
Did a lot of cool.
You
shit
see what I'm
with
talking
us.
about? The uncle thing. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very easy to. You can't do it forever, but like, you can win a kid's affection with gifts. They're
Yeah.
stupid. That's why you say
Yeah.
don't go in the truck with the candy, because they go, he must be nice. He
life
has
is-
candy.
My whole life is a lie.
What kind of gifts are we talking? You remember?
Paintball guns.
Oh,
tennis
paintball
rackets,
guns.
bikes.
Yeah.
Just like stuff.
Was your brother cool with it too, or was he a little wiser? He said, "Hey, you fucking paintball gun. This is nothing to you, lawyer."
I don't know. My brother has a whole different. I don't want to speak on my brother's experiences because it's just different for them.
No, it's so different. I mean, in a way, I understand he's
Very
your
different
full
for them.
brother, but like I have a half siblings, and we have very
Yeah.
different. My stepdad is their dad. We have very different relationships to
Yeah.
that man.
I mean, even my oldest brother, like he doesn't have any relationship with his father.
Sure.
So
None
so-
at all.
None at all. Yeah.
Uh huh.
So, again, like the 3 boys in this family are carrying such different experiences with them.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
I think that's a show.
Yeah.
I feel like that pitch. It's brothers who are just so different. Who just have such.
Yeah.
Because
I think more men need roles in Hollywood. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna
Not
fix
me,
it. You go
Taylor.
ahead. You fix Hollywood with not making a TV show.
Can I tell? Yeah, I don't know. Like we were going back to what we were saying. Like there's just certain things I just don't care about, and I used to care so much about certain things in this industry. So
I get that. I get that where like
TikTok
I
is-
always say to people who are struggling, I think having to sell tickets and have the full experience of like, I sold that ticket and this money comes from a portion of that. And if I go somewhere and only 12 tickets sell, no one else can fix that but me, gives you an autonomy. It gives you a real understanding. It also makes you go like, well, I didn't get this. I don't go, why did I not book the Wilbur for a weekend? It's like, because there wouldn't be people in the seats enough.
Yeah, 100%.
And like until you do that, I mean, the whole system of acting, which is where I started, where all my friends started, was like, a casting director gave it to you and it was granted, and suddenly you were on a big show and everyone watched you.
Yeah.
And we know it from I got 10 and then I got 20 and then I got 50.
Yeah, I had a guy I was playing Fortnite with on my Twitch stream. This is like a fan. He was like, you got to do the sphere, bro. I bet you could do the sphere. He's like, you could do this. You could do the sphere, bro. Like he's like 19 and has no point of reference. He's like, you're super popular. They got like 5 million followers, dude. You could do the sphere. But like,
How many seats is the sphere?
I don't know, but I can't sell the spear. It's like,
But do you have?
it's probably
I don't
like
have
5 to
fantasies.
10,000. I
Yeah.
imagine.
I really don't. Maybe you could say I'm full of shit. My fantasies are not like sold out Madison Square
No.
Garden. My fantasies are always about I made great comedy. I made like a genius bit or something,
100%.
and I'll do it for 100 people or whatever. But
1,000% agree with you.
I
I was
saw-
happy last year when I was averaging 60 to 200 tickets on an off night.
Yeah.
I was happy last year. So when I did the water bottle tour here in LA, when I was signing with all the big agencies,
sure.
I kind of just was like, hey, I'm pretty happy
I
right
didn't
now.
know that's what they called it, the water
I
bottle.
didn't know
tour?
either. That's what they said. Because the minute you walk in, they're like, can I get you a bottle of water?
Really?
Yeah.
I went to one meeting with someone I didn't sign with, and it was one of these things. You walk in, there's a big U-shaped table, 15 people, and they all got a big booklet with my face on the cover.
Because you at WME with me?
Yeah. Remember we talked right before
yeah,
you
we're
were
both
deciding to
Cat.
sign,
That's
and
right,
I was
that's
like,
right.
I said Cat and Tommy.
They are really
Was I
great.
wrong?
No, you're
Was
not
I wrong? Did I
You
make a
were-
real wreck?
You were,
I said
you were absolutely correct.
I
Shout out Cat and Tommy.
shout at Cat and Tommy.
Don't sleep. They don't sleep.
Yeah. Oh, don't I know?
And they better never go to sleep.
I want the person I can text at 10. They don't have to get back at 10.
No.
But it's got to be okay that I sent that text.
Yeah, no, they're fantastic. But to go back, like at a certain point, the dream. I used to want to be on SNL or be the host of like the Tonight Show but then I worked there. I interned at these places
At where? SNL?
at Late Night with Conan O'Brien.
Was that fun?
Yeah, it was super.
That
cool.
feels like more the fun one. Some of the others sometimes they sound pretty bad.
Yeah, no,
I agree.
I was there.
Yeah.
Right at the changeover from Conan to Fallon, and
Oh my God, you were there for that?
yes.
You know this?
So
This is where
Wait.
Conan got the Tonight Show, and
Yeah.
then they took it away from him.
Yeah.
Well, so it was 2009.
Oh my God,
and
tell me
I
about
was
it.
an intern at Conan, and then Conan stopped. Went to do the Tonight Show in February, and then Fallon absorbed the Conan interns.
Oh wow.
So I didn't go to the Tonight Show.
Oh, I see. Okay, so
So I just stayed in New York and did.
Fallon took over the second slot.
Essentially, yeah. I
Yeah.
just stayed at late night.
Okay, got it.
And I found that to be super cool because, especially with the monologue, for example, they would bring all the interns into the audience for the monologue to see if they would laugh at jokes, and they would use us sometimes too.
That's a lot of pressure. That's a group that I don't trust is going to tell me the truth.
But we're all fans. Everybody there is a fucking fan. For
Sure.
the most part, But that was a fun show. And
Do you remember? So you did this just for Jimmy or with Conan too?
both of them. I mean,
Both of
by the
them?
way, with Jimmy, I mean, that dude might be one of the most talented people I've ever met. Just
Sure.
say whatever you want. I don't know whatever people say about him.
You know what people say about him.
A little bit, but yeah.
But what? Tell me your thoughts seeing it live, because I understand. Listen, I don't like the late night format,
Yeah.
especially now because I go. These people don't even have a second to self reflect or build or
I
find their
know.
vibe. They just, and especially now with the Trump era, they just got like fucking squeezed every day, and they just had to basically talk about Donald Trump
Yeah.
for 15
4
minutes of
years.
monologue for more and more and more, and then
Oh,
comes
no.
back and you had to speak on it. You had to go and be like, that's not good. And that's not funny. But I understand I remember I saw the Tonight Show with Jay Leno. And we all know what people say about Jay Leno from time to time. And I've also heard great things too as a stand-up. But I remember he came out before the taping and he was in his jeans and a t-shirt. He's like, hey guys, we're gonna get stoned here in a
Yeah.
little bit. Here's how it's gonna work. And I remember I was like, I felt the charisma.
Dude, did you go
there.
live?
I went to a live. This was when I did my
Wow.
showcase in college. This was a long
So
time
you were like
ago.
18, 17.
Yes, something
This was
like
like
that.
right towards the end of his thing too. Well, how old are you?
Well, I'm 36.
Oh wow.
So
okay.
I was probably, it was the end of college, so it was probably like 20 or 21.
Yeah, because I'm 37. So yeah.
Yeah. And I just remember being like, oh, this is funny.
Yeah.
The way you're talking to me now. And then when you get into the confines of the show, a lot of times just neuters a person. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
think hosting a show like that would be the end of making great comedy.
Yeah, I mean, during the rehearsals, Jimmy. I mean, he's incredible. Like, it was so funny the stuff he was doing during
Yeah.
rehearsals. He's just it's so good.
This is when he was still getting drunk too. I'm sure he was a blast.
He was just he was so nice.
What do you remember? Do you remember? Like,
I remember I was on the phone in the hallway with my, at that time, ex-girlfriend, and he came in the hallway and he was just like, "Hey, what's up, man? What's going on?
Uh-huh.
Hey, what's going on, dude? Thanks for being here, bro."
Yeah.
I don't know if he said bro, but he was just like really nice and
Yeah.
kind of sprightly.
As
And...
opposed to Letterman, where the word was that you couldn't make eye contact.
No.
That's what I was told.
Oh.
Well,
But he was on that show. Listen, in defense, first of all, when you put it like that, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
yeah.
I do
I guess he
understand
was
that there's a degree where it's like, hey, he can't have chats. He's running from place to place to place, and eventually that it evolves into it keeps happening and it keeps happening, and then eventually, before you know it, the rule is no eye contact. I can see how Ellen probably got to where she got. I can see where I think the part that you only know if you're a performer, and this is not to excuse deeply problematic or hitting someone with a car, but you're under this demand where you suddenly have to then put on a show, and sometimes you need a little bit of space to do that, and people don't always respect that space. Like I did a TV. It was not a TV thing. It was a very high budget web series where it was like I was supposed to be visiting the wall in Jerusalem because my father had died, and I was crying over it. And I remember I'm not a great actor.
Sorry, I don't know why I laughed at that.
No, it's fine. And I have to cry. I was trying to cry. And then an extra comes over and goes, "Wow, you're tall. How tall do you think you are?" And it's that moment where you want to go, can you tell the extras no eye contact?
Yeah.
No eye contact with me.
It's interesting you say that because I just shot a guest star on a TV show. It's going to be on Apple called It's Rambler, right? And we're on a golf course, and like a lot of the extras knew who I was from TikTok.
Sure.
And they would like between scenes, they'd be like, "Hey man, what's your name, bro? You're the guy, right? You're buddy, right? Come on, bro." I was at the airport literally coming back the other day, and a guy came up to me. He goes, "Wait a second. Are you a goofy guy?"
Oh my god!
Which I liked. I liked that.
Is that your thing, goofy guy?
I have a clip or two where I'm a goofy guy. You know.
I wish that was my thing. You know what my thing is?
What is it?
You're the pedophile guy. You're the pedophile guy.
No.
You could just say pedophile.
Yeah.
It's but that's people. It's that fucking R. Kelly joke. I have yet to have a joke that breaks past the R. Kelly
you
pedophile
had a big
joke.
Didn't you have a big Holocaust joke that went viral?
Yeah, but every time someone gets in trouble and goes, well, it's not pedophilia, it's ephebophilia.
Oh,
they
that's
put that
right.
video
That was
back
the one-
up.
that was the
so
one,
I'm just
Yeah.
that's me. I'm gonna make that merch. Pedophile.
I mean, listen, man. I know we're joking, but getting your most popular hits, like putting them on a T-shirt. I'm saying.
Yeah, but then I've had a bit. I've talked about it ad nauseum that's associated with the bit, and I have to do the bit for every show, and I will never do that again. I will never have to do a bit every time.
I have to do that.
Hate it
because I do music, so I have to sing like if I don't sing certain songs, I'm realizing people get upset.
Sure,
it's a very interesting experience for me because if I don't do the LOL or the suspicious as fuck or now I have some other ones. Would You Be My Dad is a kind of a fun one. If I don't do certain songs,
you ever get annoyed?
Well, I mean, like if I'm doing a full weekend and I did it every night, there's some nights I just want to like do different songs. And then the one like for when I was in Australia, I had 3 Melbourne shows in a row, right? And then one night I didn't do Suspicious as Fuck, and at the very end I'm getting off. They're like, "Suspicious as fuck,
yeah,
do it."
Yeah.
I'm like, "You guys really want to hear that?" They're like, "Yeah." And then, but I realized when I start playing it, about half the crowd starts clapping. They're like excited. And one of the things I noticed as a fan of music, because I go to a lot of concerts now, which by the way, if you're not taking advantage of your agents and having them get you free tickets to concerts, you're fucking up.
First of all, that ability is contingent on how much money you're making the agency.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I can get all the off Broadway tickets I want for a matinee.
Yeah.
But I occasionally do the thing where I go, hey, I don't know if you saw Bill Burr and Gaffigan, they're doing Glengarry Glen Ross. I'd love to go opening night. And they're like, yeah, we all would love to go opening night, Gianmarco.
Right.
When you do 3 shows in Melbourne instead of 1, maybe we can talk about this.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But going back to like seeing musicians play, when I saw James Taylor play, I saw some other bands play, and like if you don't play the hits, people are genuinely upset.
Well, Louis used to do a thing when he was at the height where he'd do his whole show and then he'd come back and say, what bits do you want to see? Which is pretty crazy as a comedian because, you know, we're still in a weird place where we've definitely shifted. There was a time where you burnt material and you never did it again,
Yeah.
and we're all over that.
Yeah.
We all got over it. It happened so fast.
Yeah.
It became like it burnt when you published it to now like it's only burnt if every person in the world says it back to you once.
No, truly, because I think I could do the material from my 2 old specials and people wouldn't even.
Sure.
Because like when something goes viral, 90% of the people who see it are new people. I don't know if
Yeah.
you
Sure, and
that's a
also
relevant
it's still,
statistic,
even
so-
if it goes viral, it's still just a portion of the population.
Yeah.
The whole population is not on TikTok.
They're not, and they don't know, and they don't even. They have no. They have, and especially my audience is like 25 and under. When I'm playing Fortnite with them,
You play Fortnite with the fans?
yeah,
Yeah?
they love it.
Yeah.
And I was playing last night, and I asked this person. I said, they're 18, and I go, when's the last time you have watched a comedy special from start to finish? And they go, what?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What
Don't
are
I
you talking
know it?
about? Never.
Don't I know it?
So it's a brave new world we're living in.
Okay.
Yeah, go.
Going back to the music thing, like, do you think if you don't play one of your hits, then like, does it feel like less exciting of a show sometimes? Because like from my experience, like just seeing music, so like for example, I've seen Bon Iver several times. One time he did a totally like avant-garde show where he was just doing like white noise.
And how'd that make you feel?
I didn't love it,
Yep.
honestly.
Okay.
It was just,
Yep.
he had some like contemporary dancers on stage doing weird body contortions, and it was like at the Hollywood Bowl.
Save that for the cabaret or at the Roosevelt or something.
Yeah.
It'd be
but
like if I had
then-
a stand-up show and I did music. It's like, what is this? That's not what you
Yeah,
got
that's
tickets
not what you paid
to.
for.
But then I saw him at Coachella, which is the place where I thought he wouldn't do the hits, but then he did like Skinny Love and Holocene
Yeah.
and like all of like, and that was like one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Of course.
So
Do you ever
That was a big breath.
what
Could
do
you
you,
take a
do you
bit-
think
did
you'll
you-
ever come back and you'll go, you know what? I want to do no auto tune, and you're going to do the no auto tune tour? Or do you think I just it's one of those things where you have such a fan base, and now they have these specific things they want from you. Do you ever have moments of going, oh fuck, what if I want to do this?
No, because now it's just a matter of evolving and making the show as in cooperative as possible, because the 25 and unders really need something experiential. I'm noticing,
Do you feel more?
and it's fun for me. By the way, I have a lot of fun at my shows.
Do you feel in your heart you're a comedian first?
No, not anymore.
What do you feel?
I think I'm just like an entertainer.
Yeah.
Somebody commented in one of my YouTube videos. They're like, "What is this even supposed to be?" And I just was like, I wish I could tell you.
oh wait,
Sure.
I
I
don't know.
saw that you got you started doing So Far Sounds.
That's how I started. I started with the
Shows.
music shows like
Yeah.
that. But
Like
like,
so far, is that the
That's
that's
like
the horn that the Jews? Is that a shofar? Is that what that is? Do you
no,
know what I'm talking about?
that's very,
No.
that's very good wordplay.
No, but it's a real thing. Do you
That
know?
is a real thing.
yeah.
That is a
What
real
is
thing.
so far?
So far as the
Gentile
don't,
version?
is the don't it's the don't tell comedy version of music. Don't tell comedy basically modeled their whole thing off of So Far Sounds.
Yes.
Okay, so people just go for a show.
It's 3 artists doing
music.
4 songs each
Ooh.
in an intimate setting.
Oh, is that still a thing?
I
It's still a
I
thing,
think it's
yeah.
still a
I would
thing,
go to that.
It's very great, and it's a good date spot.
But what
So-
would you would do your?
So I snuck in there as a musician and eventually became a host, and then from there, that's where like when I was hosting, I was doing crowd work with the guitar, and then I noticed people were starting to film, and people would come to shows. From those shows to the comedy shows, and be like, "I thought you were going to do like your crowd work. We want to see the crowd work stuff."
Yeah.
So
yeah,
a lot of the evolution of my act has come from like, honestly, like giving the audiences what they want.
Sure.
You know,
Interesting.
so with the auto tune, with the guitar stuff, now it's like knowing people can't pay attention. If you come to my shows, it's like every 5 to 10 minutes something is slightly different.
yeah.
You know,
I get
it's
that.
like we do some auto tune stuff. We do a guitar song, then we do like a sad, emotional Bo Burnham type guitar song. Then we do some other audience involvement song and some stand up. And
Would have been any? Tell me about some. You deal with the audience that much. There's got to be the occasional one that goes wrong.
yeah, I mean, just in Texas the other day, like this "Would You Be My Dad" bit. At the end of the show, I asked somebody if they're proud of me. Will you just be?
Sure.
Would you
Sure.
be my dad and just tell me that you're proud?
Yeah.
And this guy, I brought him up. He just was like, I was like, "Would you be my dad?" He goes, "Yeah." Like, okay, I was like, just wait. I'll let you know.
Well, when you said that to me, I thought, yeah.
And then, but at that point in the song, it's like there's a clearly established pattern in the song.
Yes.
You I say the line and then I say another line.
Okay.
You don't have to like, you know what I mean? He's like,
Sure.
it's like very established.
Yeah.
This is the, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. It's like, it's like very clear.
Yeah.
And then, and just tell me that you're proud. He goes, yeah. I go, I need you to say that. Are you proud of me? He goes, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I go, bro, in front of like 700 people, I just need you to tell me that you're fucking proud of me on stage. This is the last thing of the show.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, I'm proud of you. All right, great. Get off the stage. It's such a dud. But
Did you feel the anger? Do you feel an anger ever? And you go,
yeah, I mean,
God, fucking A, dude. Because you got to hide it. I think one of the things with comedic is you have to be able to like somehow turn the frustration into kind of like it's a funny frustration.
Yeah.
You wise guy, but sometimes you feel it.
You do.
Your skin is red hot.
But I don't really get angry like that at all, ever.
Ever? You don't get angry at all?
I get a little frustrated, but I don't raise my voice. I don't get. I mean, like we just got to accept what's going on, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I understand that, but sometimes it's hard to accept. Tell me that time you got booed on New Year's, because I remember I knew you. I didn't know you from the beginning.
We
but
met.
I definitely
We met over a pandemic during a competition. That's how I remember it. It was the March Madness. We were doing the Zoom. That's how I remember you. Because
with
you
the
and I
Boston March Madness.
Yeah. Because you and I were up against each other, and you beat me in the round. And I was like, "Who the fuck is this Gianmarco guy?"
What were you doing then? Were you doing
I was doing
guitar?
auto-tune stuff on the.
Oh, you were.
Yeah.
And I won.
I think you won the round. Yeah.
Oh my
I don't know.
God.
Did you win the competition?
I don't recall.
I didn't even want to do it.
No offense. I don't know if Zoom comedy competition should count for much. If that's your credit, you got to get a new
Clearly,
one.
I'm holding on to a lot of things. I don't get angry.
Yeah, you're like, I know every place of every Zoom comedy competition I did.
Yeah. No, but
I remember I did one Zoom comedy competition where it was like, it was a big one. The prize was, $3,000 or $5,000.
Yeah.
And this was when everyone had been out of work. People were
Yeah.
making funds for comedians.
Yeah.
And it was like all these people. I think I got third, but they were like some older like road dogs who had to figure out Zoom that morning, and it was hard.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
they
boy.
gave it to this fucking 8-year-old who had like a cheese puppet, and it was so. And also like clearly they won, and there was like a celebrity judge, like one of the former hosts of Whose Line Is It Anyway? Like that's the level.
Yeah.
And they gave it to the kid because it was cute. His punchlines fucking popsicle stick jokes. But they gave it to him, and I just was so mad because I was like, you think that 8-year-old needs $3,000? That 50-year-old was barely selling a show at
Yeah.
fucking Bananas Comedy
Yeah.
Club. They needed it. Fuck that kid. Fuck that cheese
Yeah.
puppet. It's not good.
Yeah.
If you're in a competition, none of the cute shit doesn't win.
Seems like you're holding on to a lot of anger right now.
Yeah, I wanted it. I wanted that money.
Yeah. Wait, but where were we talking about?
Your bomb.
Oh, yeah. So a couple things about that bomb. First of all, that was a black room. For those of you who don't know, there are things like black rooms and white rooms and mixed rooms. Not like, this isn't like 1960, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, of course I know what you're talking about.
Some comedians,
but some comedians will
don't
do a
know.
thing. If you hear ever a comedian go an urban room, what they would say to another comedian is a black room.
Yeah, just say black room. It's a black room.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I say. Anyway,
Are there other terms for other races?
I don't know what an Asian room would be like.
I just don't think there's that many rooms. There's not enough rooms to make a name. Like in America, there's not enough like rooms that's like,
Well-
oh, you did the Asian circuit?
Well, I think because stand-up comedy is America's like one of their few artistic exports to the rest of the world.
Sure.
So I think like white and black comedy are so like, because they also comedy came around the same time, like with the Lenny Bruce, and you had like him, and then you had like Red Fox, and
Then before that, it was part of the mafia. It's part
that
of the
right?
mafia, yeah.
oh
it was
right, I
like-
guess it was, yeah.
It was just like it was one of those where you said you joked in the wrong way to the wrong guy, you could get killed.
Yeah.
They'd slice a smiley face into your skull.
I mean, it just goes to show that like certain rooms have certain like pre-existing conditions that
Sure.
we all kind of adhere to. We know what's going to kind of happen,
yeah.
right? So with
But
black,
if you start bombing, if you in a white room, if you start bombing, it's just
like
going to be
disappointment.
quiet.
It's
You
gonna be
start
quiet.
bombing in a black room, there's a chance you will feel booed in a way that you didn't know people.
but on the other end of that, if they love you,
oh, it's the greatest feeling
the love from
of
a
your
black
life.
room is like you never felt more like a rock star in your life. It's absolutely
You're shaking
tremendous.
hands. You're reaching out for the
They're
stage.
they're calling you the N word when you get off stage.
Yeah,
No, this
yeah.
is real. This happens. When
Oh,
I do, when I
sure.
do chocolate Sundays.
Sure. I have to chocolate Sundays.
My black friend, I was coming off. She's like, "Bro, you can say it." I'm like, you can say it. Because he saw, he's like, bro, black people love you. You can say it. I'm like, I don't think I can say it.
Did he come back to you after this show and say, hey, you can't say it
No,
anymore?
this is after the fact.
Yeah.
But the thing was, you got to understand, this is the south side of Chicago. This is New Year's Eve. The lineup is like me, Donnell Rawlings, Lunel, T.I.
T.I.
Well, the point is, cards are stacked against me at this point.
Sure.
And it's a 4,000 seat room. If you ever done a black room, it's like there's a DJ for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
There might even be an R&B performance, which there was at this show. So it was a DJ for 30 minutes. Then there was a full-on R&B with dancing performance from a local artist.
I'm already stressed. There was a time when I lived in Harlem and I was doing shows where like I did a couple shows with Donnell. But like if you were following Donnell, you're like, you just got to bring it. You got to go fast. Not all my jokes are set up to operate like that, and less so these days. But if there's a DJ, I can win him over right away. All I have to do, I go up there and I go.
Oh yeah,
and it's
or
just,
you dance, or you're like,
yeah.
And then they're like, okay, dance for us.
I think Bill Burr talked about that, where it is an easy thing if you're a white guy, like you can lean into like, oh boy, what? I went to the wrong place, I guess.
I love that he never talks about his wife. He never brings up the fact that she's black.
Yeah, he did it in Paper Tiger, but in like in a way that made
sense.
Yeah, it was about their dynamic. It never was like that one guy.
When he had that bit about
that one guy. I mean, he might be your friend. White guy who like basically only performs in black rooms. He's always like, I'm invited to the cookout. Like he's like,
you got to tell me after the fact. I don't know who we're talking about.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's like a big comedian, but he is. It's all just like, I'm the white guy here.
Oh, I guess
I'm at the cookout.
I think
I may have worked
the biggest
with him.
one.
What?
I may have worked with him.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'll say that that bomb was tough because
what order, what lineup were you after?
I was
Donnell?
right after the host.
Right after the host.
So it was D. Ray Davis, who I do shows with.
Sure.
Who I've done shows with a lot, and he brought me on the road, and I had done Mother's Day that year at a 2,000 seat venue in Peoria, Illinois, which is also mostly a black crowd, and I did great, killed it.
Were you doing autotune by then, or just the guitar? Just guitar.
Just guitar stuff.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I the first night on the 30th, December 30th, I did 12 minutes. My set was fine, great. People were singing along.
Oh yeah.
Second night, I switched. It was New Year's Eve, and I switched something up. But also, people were like still getting in their seats. People were late. People were walking in.
Yeah.
And by minute 8, I was doing Friend Zone, and by the end of Friend Zone, I'm like crying in the song. And I guess people thought like I don't know what they thought, but one woman shouted out, "Get off the stage," and then by that point, it's like mob mentality.
Do you remember in that moment? Were you thinking with clarity? Were you freaking out?
I was freaking out a little bit. And I got off the stage after the song, and then I went to my green room.
Wait, did you respond? Did you say anything back?
I told him to shut up. Told everybody to shut up.
In a fun way, or like shut up?
I was like, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Let me finish the song. Which I thought would be pretty good,
Yeah. And how were we talking? Boo, boo.
Yeah, I have a video of it somewhere. I posted it.
Oh my god.
Because I remember.
You sent it to us. I want to see it.
Yeah, because as a matter of fact, so I go to the green room. I close the door. I go into the bathroom in the green room, and I close the door. So I was pretty shook up because that year arguably I had a really good year comedically. Like career-wise.
Sure,
too.
but it's New Year's. It's a big gig.
Yeah, it's a big gig, and I went to D. Ray's green room, and I just was like, "Listen, man, I'm really sorry you gave me this opportunity, and I feel like I fucked up." He's like, "Hey, man, sometimes they gonna boo you."
Yeah.
Sometimes they gonna boo you. Next time that happens, just have some music, some R&B music lined up, and just start singing some shit.
Did you feel like in that moment were you like, fuck, it's all bad? Like, are you, I would have spiraled. I go, I suck. Everything I've ever done sucks. And this was the truest reflection of my work. That's where my mind goes.
Excuse me. No, I thought I recovered pretty quickly because that wasn't the worst. I mean, I had bomb early on in my career, like year one at Caroline's on Broadway.
Sure. We've
And
all bombed at Caroline's
But it
on
was tough
Broadway.
because I had never done like
Caroline's bombed at Caroline's on Broadway.
it was like such a poetic period at the end of a sentence of like this year, of that year, because it really was a good year.
Sure. It's just like bombing. To me, it's like, I mean, I've cracked on stage when I was like a musical theater singer, and it's the same level of just utter humiliation.
Well, I think the thing is it kind of puts the fear back because I was doing really well and I hadn't had a arguably like rough set in a long time.
Yeah.
And I hadn't felt this kind of failure in a very long time. Obviously there's like you don't get the part or this joke doesn't land, but like to have like 1,000 people really just like give you hate, is really like there's no way not to feel that. I don't know. I'm not Bill Burr. I can't fight back. I'm not like I'm just like
Yeah.
And
that Bill Burr, we talked about
there's a set in Philadelphia.
In Philly where people started booing. He wasn't doing well. And
he got a statue of a fake fucking guy.
And it was like 10 minutes. Like he said, like, I got 9 more minutes. You fucking losers.
Crazy.
Go fucking kill yourself. And it was and he didn't like fully win them over. He won over some while they booed, and they were having fun.
They loved it.
They were having fun.
They loved
but
it.
it's not like he was just like everyone was on his side by the end. It was very contentious, and he just kept it going.
I can't do that.
But bombing is. I remember. I opened for a comic a long time ago, and I guess he did Catch a Rising Star, and he was like new, and Tracy Morgan was on the lineup too, and he was like just crushing everywhere he went.
Of course.
If you got to see Tracy Morgan at the Apollo because he was like doing alt comedy in a space that would be. I mean, it's amazing what he did.
Yeah.
But this guy he bombed to Catch a Rising Star. He was a young comic. He went back, and his line was that Tracy said to him, "Don't get that bomb on me." And that's the love. It really is.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I don't know that's mean for sure.
Yeah.
But also when someone bombs, I struggle. I can't make eye contact with them. I don't know what to say. I know how they're feeling.
Lachlan Patterson had a good. There's 2 comics that talked about this. He said anytime somebody comes off a stage and they bombed, they know that. Hopefully, they know they've bombed.
Yes.
Because we obviously know comedians who bomb and they're like, "What's up with that crowd?"
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
Right? You're like, you almost got into a fist fight with the audience member. What do you mean? What was up with the crowd?
Uh-huh.
And then so hopefully they recognize that they bombed. But when they come off stage, you could say, "How'd that feel? How you feeling?" Or you just say, "Good set anyway." Because one comic I met, he was like, "Listen, it's not about whether they had a good set or not. It's just about being supportive."
Sure.
And the thing is, even if you say it was a good set, they're gonna. We know comics. Most of the time, they're gonna like hate themselves and kind of stew on this bad set for a little while.
Yeah.
No matter how good there were of like moments, that was a good thing. It was a good thing, But if it wasn't like a full like murder fest, it's like, yeah.
For me, the only compliment that really it even touches that dark hole of a heart I have left is a specific joke that they liked. To me, that's all. That's all I care about. Because if I killed, I killed.
Yeah.
I feel so high. I don't need anything else. I'm full.
Yeah.
But if someone says to me a specific joke, and the worst is when you do like a lot of new stuff and you do one old line and someone comes up and goes, "I love that joke." And you're like, "Yeah, the fucking 8-year-old one. Yeah, you like that one." It's the last time I wrote anything fucking good, I guess.
I know.
So I'm in the corner taking notes when I'm at Gianmarco's show.
Uh-huh.
Just because I have to like think of like something that you changed from the last time I saw you.
You don't have to
Not
do
literally, not mental notes, of course.
Sure.
know all
I
her
mean,
shows?
Tova takes literal.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen, you're the comedian I've seen the most, obviously.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
it's
For
like, but it
sure.
is interesting to see like the evolution of a joke from like when you started it like 3 years ago, and maybe if you're still doing it now, then you keep
Yeah.
like tweaking stuff.
Tova sees a lot. My girlfriend sees a lot. And I think there has been work and more work because I respect her comedically so much.
Yeah.
It becomes, it's kind of like I thrust upon her the keys to my self-worth after a set, and it's just a lot of responsibility. Suddenly she goes like I didn't write, or she goes like I didn't clock anything, or she doesn't have anything to say. We've had conversations just about like if I have a bad set. I think it's more important that dynamic. If I have a bad set and I'm with my girlfriend, I've gotten better, but the beginning was not good. I was just in such a dark place. I felt embarrassed to do it I felt more embarrassed to bomb in front of her, as if she would think I was now bad, after seeing me so many other times.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Because you think they like you because you're a funny person, right?
Yeah, or I just feel like I'm like, it's an emperor of no clothes. Oh, you saw that I'm actually not talented. That I've been tricking. That I've really been, I've been getting by. Or I'm okay.
Trying to think of another circumstance for that. I mean, when people know you as the person on stage and then off stage, you're just like not really like I don't think I'm like a funny person off stage really like at all. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't.
I don't see myself as like a constant joker, but I'm wry.
Yeah.
I'm just lower energy. But
yeah.
I'm mean off stage.
Are you?
I have like a mean sense of humor.
Yeah.
I just like mean comedy.
Yeah.
Biting. Mean is one way to put it. You could just put it sassy.
Yeah.
That's mean but gay.
I feel like every time we have a call, you try to land at least one joke, even if it's like 5 minutes.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you definitely.
But if
get
you
it,
hear
like-
me talking to like my business manager, I
Well,
sound
sure,
like
that's different.
See,
there's no jokes going on there.
Yeah. See, when I'm on stage, like at least I mean, in general, I never try to be malicious about anything. I can't do it. I remember because when I first started doing comedy, my stepdad was in the crowd, and he has Parkinson's, and a comic made a joke about Parkinson's. Now, here's the thing. I don't care that he made a joke about Parkinson's. It doesn't bother me that anybody makes a joke about these but I do know how, because what happened was this was when he started getting the shakes, you know.
Sure.
And the guy made fun of him because he thought he was like drunk or something.
Oh, he was directly making
He's
fun
like
of
directly
your...
making a joke. Look at this guy. He's like drunk. He can't even hold the fucking thing. But he just had Parkinson's, right?
That is brutal.
So so like I thought about that, and I take that with me in all my sets because I don't ever want to be like overtly malicious and alienate people. So I don't know. I always try to be I always make fun of I'm happy to make fun of myself first.
Sure.
But also like the overall vibe or intention of my show. Like I said, I'm not like edgy. I'm not biting or sassy like that. You know.
Sure.
I know I'm singing songs about fucking and dating, and when I did The Fringe, this comic of Chortle had such a good joke. He had such a good roast of me in his
What'd he
review.
say?
He goes, "Thank God somebody has the courage to tackle these topics of dating and relationships." I thought it was so funny. I was like, "That's a good joke." I was like, "I had to keep that in there."
So I said there was a comedian I won't name, but I saw their special and someone asked me, "What do you think of their special?" And I said it was amazing. Did you know dating is hard?
Yeah,
but
I get it.
But dating is hard.
Dating is hard.
Dating is hard.
Dating is hard.
My best friend was like, "Dude, how many more fucking songs can you sing about dating, dude? Jesus Christ."
But here's the thing. I'll say this is because you're in an open relationship.
Yeah.
You have new gas in the tank.
Yeah.
Like I think there are some older. This is how I feel also about like pop stars that keep singing sexy songs when they're 60 or whatever.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And it's the same with like comedians who like. There's one I'm thinking of in particular where like they're married, they're rich, they have kids, and their bits are still like, you know, on a first date where a guy just and I'm like, you haven't been on a first date in 10 years.
Yeah.
And if this is topical, that means someone else went on that date for you and told you about it.
Yep.
And I'm now disconnected from the experience. And it's the same way I feel where Madonna, and I don't know, I haven't listened to any of her new stuff, but when an older artist, I think some of them are willing to like transition into what they talk about, and some are like, I'm fucking 5 times still, and I'm like, that's impossible.
I mean, Cher's a good
What
example.
if she is though? You know, I feel like
But they're not describing what that age 5 times is. 5 times is like, and then the doctor came in and gave me more fluids to keep
also,
going.
you gotta understand her audience that listens to her, like your audience ages with you.
yeah.
So so what she's doing, or what these artists are doing, they're trying to appeal to a younger audience, which is kind of impossible. When I saw James Taylor, you know, he had a joke on stage, which, by the way, musicians, like 100% musicians, when they tell jokes on stage at concerts, they just get such a pass, and like that bothers me.
What about
what have you seen?
What about like Vince Staples? I think he's actually really.
Well,
funny.
he's actually very funny.
Yeah.
Who have you seen that you're like?
Well, James Taylor did a joke where he moved his stool. He moved the stool, and he goes, "I've been having a hard time moving my stool," and the crowd loses it, because obviously this crowd is like 50 to 80-year-olds, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, James Taylor!"
Yeah. Yeah.
He did a joke about shit. What the fuck? And I'm just over there like, that was a good joke. But it was
Sure.
it's like good. It was good. It's like if when a Southwest, airline,
I feel yoga teachers get away
Oh,
with
boy.
murder, and I want to go after and say, just so you know, that was not funny.
Yeah.
That was not funny at all.
I love what you said about, you had that clip, I think it went viral about like astrology or something.
I have a couple of clips about fucking astrology. One with Caleb.
Or yeah, you were talking about like, don't make me like bring me into
Oh
this.
yeah,
like, I
yeah,
have to
yeah.
believe this or
It's that
something,
thing
like-
where it's like I have to now participate in
that,
either
yeah.
like lying with you.
Or we have to have a combative situation where like, I don't believe in this. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah, and then you're gonna look at me like I'm obnoxious.
yeah. I'm Brazilian. Brazilians love astrology.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, but that's like the first thing. That's like if you're going on a date with somebody in Brazil, like your sign is like at the top of the list. It's crazy.
I believe that one of the theories that I once read, because it's obviously more associated with women, at least in the Huffington Post, the horoscopes would be in the women's voices section, which should be offensive. Which should be
yeah.
offensive.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there was something
I never noticed
about
that.
it was something about when you live in a world. This was the theory again. I don't know if it's proven. Where you live in a world where you have less autonomy because it's a patriarchal society, because more things are being thrust upon you.
Yeah.
You look to outward sources for things that will affect what happens to you. It's the moon will do this, or the Venus will do
Right.
this. And it's partly because you're not given the same amount of autonomy in an oppressive society. And that's why. That's the theory.
Well, that's kind of goes back to what we were saying at the beginning, like people self-diagnosing things. If we can
Uh-huh.
get a diagnosis, then that is the reason why I am the way I am, or these things are happening in
Well,
my
you
life.
hear about astrologists now, or they go to their, what do you call it if you go to a person? Is it
Like a medium or like
No,
a
the
psychic?
astrology one.
or...
Yeah, I'm an
Yeah,
astrologist. Yeah.
astrologist.
They make charts for you.
hear
and
about it, you
colors
go, oh, it's therapy.
and- yeah.
And in my mind, I go, there has to be a better way of therapy. Therapy should, even if it's a soft science, be built on like research and talking and schooling to some degree. I'm sure college is fucked up, but like something.
Yeah.
And when it's astrology, it's like, I understand you're getting something out of this, but it's so loose and so rife with the possibility for abuse and money taking and like being misled. Why trust this?
It's a great first date though. If you go like a palm reader or some shit like that.
Not with me.
It's a cute
Not with me.
first date.
That's the last date. They're gonna see. Wow, he can't even have fun for a goddamn second. He can't even entertain that someone might like a chiropractor without telling me it actually is very dangerous.
I got my palms read one time on the Venice boardwalk,
What'd they say?
and I think I was probably like 18 at the time, and they're looking at my palms and they're like, you don't, like, it looks like you don't know, like, who you are or, like, what your path is yet. And then I was so offended by that when I was 18 because I thought I knew it all.
Sure.
She was right. But
she
I
was
mean,
right.
obviously that's a very vague thing to say.
Yeah, that's a very vague
But
thing.
then at the end, she was like, also your chakras aren't balanced. Like you need to get them balanced. And then she tried to sell me on like a $30 chakra balancing thing afterwards.
I hate
So
it.
that was like,
I hate it
that's where I
all.
was like, okay, this isn't real.
I'm glad my dad raised me to be a skeptic, but he would do the thing. If you see a psychic and it says like, be back in 5 minutes or out of the office, be back in 30, and you go, as you should, why didn't they predict that I was going to come here just now? That alone, to me, should go like, oh, it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
That's enough. That is enough right there. Why? Oh, if they're psychic, why don't they win the lottery? That's enough. You don't even need more. You don't even need to talk about it beyond that. Obviously. Let's go to our next segment. This has got to stop.
Do you want me to play the music?
No, we'll put it here.
This has got to
This has
stop.
got to stop. This is something that's got to go away. It's fucking shitty. Big, small. Let me say this real quick before we go on. This is the downside. Subscribe on Spotify. We're here at Spotify Studios. They let us use it.
Do it.
And subscribe to Spotify.
Subscribe.
Give us 5 stars.
Do it.
We have video there now. We have video there now.
so
And you
it
can comment.
It shows up on the.
It shows up on there. Thanks to Paige. Paige it takes work, but it's worth it. And join the Patreon. 2
Check out
bonus
that-
episodes every month. Patreon.com/downside. What was that?
Oh, check out Morgan's merch too. If you're watching on video right now.
Oh yes, Morgan is wearing
Wait.
his own merch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
These we only sell these at shows. I don't sell merch
Okay.
online really.
Well,
Oh good. You know why? I got a fucking I changed merch companies. They had all this stuff in the warehouse. I got 20 boxes of fucking t-shirts.
Yeah, I don't.
If you come to a show, buy some fucking t-shirts, man. I am in the hole. I don't
Well,
need
you
this
know,
many shirts.
Well, we could talk about how to sell merch because I sell about $10,000 to $20,000 of merch now. at shows.
Yeah, well, there needs to be more people for me to move those kind of numbers. Yeah, it's like
true.
McDonald's. Like, hey, you want to know how to run your hamburger shop? Like, we sell 5 billion burgers every second. I'll talk to you after the show. This gotta stop. This gotta stop. I get paid in cash sometimes. If you are paying me and the amount of money you're paying me fits into one bill, I don't need an envelope. I get an envelope. I'm expecting to open and see at least $2-3 in there. If it is a $20 spot, do not give me an envelope because that is a disappointing open. I did not know what I was getting paid, but I got excited when I saw the envelope. I said at least 50. I think 50 maybe, and it's gonna be 2 20s and a 10. $20. I'm opening the envelope. I'm shaking it. I'm turning it inside out. There must be more.
There's a show that I do. I haven't done it in a while. They pay you $20, but they don't even put it like in a normal envelope. They put it into an envelope that you would put like a key in, and so it's folded up inside this tiny.
So it feels like you got a
little prize.
Yeah.
But it's just a $20 bill, and so you have to like rip it open. They're like, it's wild.
And they're doing it because they're embarrassed to handle just the 20 to you. I say save the envelope, add it on to what I'm getting paid, because if it's a penny more, that's still like I made
so funny.
0.1% more.
That's funny.
So that's why this has got to stop. If it's
Yeah.
$20, just give it to me, and don't. I'm happy for the spot I'm talking about, but don't. $20.
Yeah.
I saw how many people were in that room. I'm on the road. When you go on the road, sometimes you look at the sold out room at the comedy club and you go, this is insane.
Yeah.
I know what kind of money you're making here now. What's my door deal? 0.0001%?
Yeah. They're doing some tomfoolery.
Please keep
Brutal.
booking me. Paige, do you have This Gotta Stop?
I do. I'm gonna do a music related. This has got to stop.
Okay.
This has got to
She's
stop.
just like
Musical
Morgan.
comedy.
She goes like, Morgan, you need to stop. You need to stop what you're doing.
This is gonna stop. XYZ celebrity, or saying XYZ celebrity is the celebrity of this generation. So what I mean by that is a lot of people are saying now, like, Tate McRae is the new Britney Spears of this generation.
Crazy talk.
I absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no replacing somebody as iconic as Britney Spears, nor will there ever be. And I think
And the world's changed. Like, you can't. We're so fractured now.
Yeah.
We don't have Britney Spears
There's
anymore.
like middle, what do I say? Middle class celebrities.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Middle class.
and also
celebrities.
just because you're like pulling archival like fashion pieces to wear on a red carpet or at the VMAs or whatever, it's the same outfit that Britney wore, doesn't mean that you're Britney Spears all of a sudden. Like,
Right. I mean, even at the VMAs this year, like Sabrina Carpenter wore Madonna's outfit.
exactly.
Megan Thee Stallion did the Britney Spears outfit.
It's like we just
Yeah.
and I understand that they were like honoring her as like the whatever
Yeah,
VMA
artist.
Vanguard or whatever.
Yeah.
But like that's different. But I think like when you're stealing somebody's like identity basically and then
Yeah.
like trying to pass it off as your own, and then people back that up by saying this artist is the new icon of this generation.
Yeah.
It is so deeply offensive to that existing artist's work and like
Sure.
legacy that like, and also the new artist should be doing something new, like something fresh, something
Yeah,
creative.
yeah.
Like,
Agreed.
that's what I want to see. I want to see something original.
Sure.
I don't want a cheap pass off, a Walmart version of Britney Spears. No offense to Tate McRae fans.
I know. I think Tate McRae is doing something very original. She's trying to be a music star without making any good music.
Exactly.
No, I like Tate McRae because I like dancing.
No, I think she's a phenomenal dancer, for the
that was a
record.
joke, guys. I barely could tell you
That's
one
that
Tate
biting.
McRae
That's
song.
that biting, sassy humor.
That's
we were
that
talking
biting.
about.
Let me do it in auto-tune.
Yeah.
I love a dancing performer. God damn, do I love
Yeah.
hip hop dancing?
Oh,
And
that's-
Tate
that's
McRae
actually the-
fucking slays.
That's actually one of the next elements I'm planning to add to my show.
Choreo?
oh,
So
really?
So I always try to involve the crowd somehow. I want to find a way to bring 3 audience members up and do a quick choreographed dance and have them back me up during a part of the song.
That's fun.
And then, because like what I'm finding is people love to be the star of the show. They love to be the center of attention, and I'm giving them an opportunity to do this. So we've done it with music, we've done it with jokes, and if we can find a way to do it with dance now, I think it'd be really cool because I'm doing like these R&B songs now on stage as well. You know?
Do you ever envision that this show is going to become a concept show in the sense that you can franchise it? Like when you're talking about that, I'm like, you're talking about some songs that are people like to hear.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about like a dance segment, and I'm like, not to undermine your
No, not at all.
talent within it all, but like it becomes an experience. So I want to go to the participation show.
The Cirque du
I want to
Soleil,
go
Morgan
to
J.
the Cirque du Soleil. Hey,
Yeah.
that Cirque du Soleil might have a problem with.
Yeah. No, I totally hear what you're saying, and like I think there is a world where that could potentially happen.
You got to get an audit. You got to get one of those, whatever that box is. You got to have your own brand.
I know, and I do.
You do?
No, I have to do that.
Yeah, you do.
Because one of the most common questions I get is like, how do I get that sound on stage? And it's really pretty simple.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, me and my reps have talked about doing a residency type show, like Vegas type show.
Sure.
The next iteration of the tour is a full band, like a
Ooh.
very kind of like Rat Pack, not like or like a James Brown kind of experience,
Yeah.
like Morgan J and the Jaws or something like that.
That's really cool.
So I've already had a couple of band rehearsals, and it's actually been super fun.
I want to do stand. I've done a couple stand shows where you have a band, and the lead person just is a great laugher.
Yeah.
And it feels amazing.
Feels good,
man.
but I want to be the James Brown of this generation.
Just in the terms of hitting
just-
your
I'm
wife.
Not having debt and not paying things back.
Uh-huh.
But as far as what should I go into my this has got to stop?
Yeah, go to your discuss up.
I was telling you before we started driving over here, I was having a hard time thinking of something because I usually just kind of accept a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But this is more of a personal thing. Like I think we need to stop. This has to stop. We need to stop shaming people for showing people YouTube videos at parties. Okay? If I reference a YouTube video and I say, let me show you real quick. It's a quick video. Let me show you a little bit of it. I want to do it. But I immediately, when I start doing it, I'm like, you know what? I'm the guy at the party doing it. I'm going to stop. And I back away from it.
Well, what video are we talking here? Like, which one of your bits?
Well, I want to. That's not. No, it's not my bit. I want to show them an hour-long clip from a Joe Rogan podcast.
But that's I hate it. Not even at parties, but even like to my girlfriend sometimes. She shows me TikToks, so we
Yeah.
know it's short.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be like, "Hey, let's watch this." She's like, 2 minutes, and I'm like, "God damn it, 2 minutes!
2 minutes.
You can't even trust me with 2 minutes of your time."
I know. But I think there's a pressure of watching something in front of somebody else.
What happens is that here's what happens because I did a shrooms day with my boys. We went to Joshua Tree. We did like 2 days,
Yeah.
and like we did the talking part, and then once we got to the videos, it really shifted the mood. Suddenly we're in watch mode, and then we were fucked up, and we just watched our like favorite SNL or favorite like comedy scenes. But once you do that, you've entered like it's lasted
different
2
part of the party.
hours.
Yeah, it's a different
It's
part of the
less
party.
talky. So I
Yeah.
get that. As long as you wait as long as you're not starting the party.
That's honestly the most controversial "this has got to stop" I could think of. I don't know what
No,
else.
it's a good. But what kind of video are you showing? What are you saying?
It's
Hey,
like a funny video that I saw. Usually
look at
it's
this Twitter. This guy dies crossing the street.
No, it's usually
Look at
just a
this guy
funny
getting
TikTok
beheaded.
video.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, look at this funny cat. Looks like a cartoon. The video. Have you seen the video? Have you seen the video of this cat? I mean, wait, can I show you this video? It's so funny.
Yeah, you can show it to me.
There's no fucking service. Hold on, let me see. If I can
There's
find-
Wi-Fi. Go to the Wi-Fi.
Oh no, I think I could find it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this one. I was sending this to everybody the other day.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, come
Okay.
on, that's
funny.
fun.
That's funny.
That's fun.
Okay.
And quick.
And quick. Come on, you got to see this video. It's fun. See, I am respectful of that. I won't be like, you got to see this minute and a half sketch.
Sometimes people show me like 5-minute long stuff. I mean, what are we?
Yeah, that's
Like,
that's
can you
too
just
much.
send me
That's
the
too
link
much.
and I'll watch it later?
But all these apps, they've confused it. Now I'm
Yeah.
uploading long clips
I just
too.
uploaded a 7-minute video to TikTok and Instagram.
I just put together a 60-minute one for TikTok.
Amazing. You should.
And you know what? It's gonna
Fuck
do
it.
better than everything else.
Maybe. We'll see. You never know with these
Yeah,
things.
we'll
It's like
see. It
throwing
could
shit at a
also
wall.
listen to TikTok.
No, not in a way that's like, I'm just saying, like, I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
no one knows.
My most viral clip I thought was not a good clip.
Sure.
There's no punchline in it. There's literally no joke in it.
Sure.
And I'm just
I've seen
maybe
your
it's just a vibe. I don't know.
Let's go on to our final segment. You better count your blessing.
Oh yeah. I gotta go.
Oh, if we hear good new version of it. It's good music. It's good music. You asked me to open for you once. I wasn't free,
Did I?
but it would be so cool.
Oh, I asked you to do a show in New York that I like curated these
Yeah.
shows. They might have me do it again next year. That's okay.
I'd be honestly
Glade.
if it was the audience that goes to see you with,
My audience
with what
is very
you
nice.
do.
Every opener
I'd
says
be
they love
nervous.
my audience.
I'd be nervous that I'd like go 9/11 and they'd go, Jesus
No.
Christ, this is a first date, please.
No,
Please.
my audience is so nice. Every venue, they all say the same thing. They're like, your audience is so fun. They tip well. They drink. They have just a good vibe.
People say that about my audiences too, and I wonder if it's because now that people have fan bases as opposed to general public, they're your fans,
Mm-hmm.
so they want to be nice for you.
Yeah.
As opposed to like the old days, it was just chaos every weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Blessing. Do you have a blessing?
Yes. My blessing is for any of my friends that have been to a show related either to Gianmarco or the podcast. I had some friends come out to our like live tour while we were on the East Coast, so that was really cool. And then also just like friends have been to your shows, and I feel like that means
Yeah.
a lot. So it's like not even like me, but
Sure.
like it's very much directly connected to me. So
Yeah.
like it goes a step beyond like their Call of Duty, I think. So making the time and like making the time to show up for something that's important to me
Yeah.
is really, really cool. And I really
That's very
appreciate
cool.
it. And
I like that a
also
lot.
go see Gianmarco on the road.
See me on the road, baby.
And Morgan too.
And
We
Morgan.
know we both have very Italian names. Well, but my last name is very Italian.
But you feel more real Italian than I am.
Really?
Yeah.
My last name is 25.
Sure, it's long.
25.
Mine's Soresi. It's short,
Yeah.
but it's still pretty
My
strong.
dad's name was Gaetano 25.
Gaetano.
Gaetano, yeah.
25.
25.
How did you get Morgan J?
I don't know. I think my mom wanted to name me Jay, and my dad was like, let's do Morgan. I don't know.
See, I think you could have an alternate persona. That's your
I'm thinking
super
about that too.
Italian,
Yeah.
Argentinian, and sister name.
Yeah.
My blessing. I did. I was in Vancouver. I was at the Biltmore.
The Couve.
Very good. They gave me some cool gifts. They gave
Oh.
me a backup whale for my little. I have an
cute.
Instagram like chat group that you can join.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
called
the
the backup
channel.
whales.
Yeah.
And my assistant told them about it, and so they got me this whale. It's cool. But I only had one show Friday, and God, when I have one show, so much nicer. I go
Yeah.
long, and then when the merch line's done, it's done. And I'm
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
But I went into dinner with just some more like local comics. I knew a local comic in Vancouver, and she like brought like 5 others. Comics who are like some between 5 years in, 10 years in, maybe
Yeah.
3 years in, and it was so nice. I like hearing about a comedy scene,
Yeah.
and like I'm like, what's healthy about it, what's not. Like I look at New York, and I don't know if everyone feels this way after you've been long enough. I go, this scene is unhealthy right now, or like the abilities to
I don't
get
even know what it's
good.
like.
And well, I think like social media's destroyed. It's the same way with acting, where it's like it's a mix of like these great actors and these horrible actors who got the role because they had a big following. It's the same thing with comedy, and it's so broken where the merit basis of it has broken down. And I love hearing like a different comedy scene, and like, in some places they have one comedy club, or in some places they have, this cool space, but they only get to do 5 minutes, and that's all they ever get to do.
Yeah.
Australia, it's fascinating. In
Yeah.
England, they headline, but they each do like 20 minutes. Like their
Yeah.
headlining is 3 comics.
They don't do openers in the UK.
And they have intermission. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
love something about it just fascinates me. So it's very cool to get a chance. And I want to go to places longer. That's my goal, and have a night
Yeah.
off.
That's
or
what I'm
one
doing
show.
for Europe this time.
Yeah.
I'm spending like a month and a half in Europe.
That's awesome.
And I want to and I'm not the most social person. I struggled making it in my own comedy scene, but like it's cool to be an elder statesman, be at like a dinner, get to know the world there, and just talk comedy shop, and also be
Yeah.
around like young comedians who are still kind of excited about it, and not talk about like the work of it all, or the door deals of it all, or the business stuff, but just
Yeah.
talk about like the scene. What's the scene
Yeah.
like here?
Yeah.
It's a cool conversation.
I like that.
Do you have a blessing?
Yeah, I've this year, like what I'm grateful for kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, this tour right now is my first tour where I can bring people with me, like a team of people.
Very cool.
How big a team? That's the dream.
I bring 3 people. I bring an opener, merch / social media person, and then my assistant / piano player.
Really, you combine assistant and piano player?
Well, they do the same thing. He's the same guy.
Yeah, I'm saying that's That's a nice.
Yeah, so
That's like if that's like my social media person / beard trimmer. Like,
Yeah.
they're different things.
yeah, I hired him as an assistant, and it just turned out that he was good at music, and he accompanies me. But
Listen to Courtney, my assistant. If you can write roast jokes, that would be great.
but I'm so used to doing things alone on the road, and it can get a little bit lonely, and so like having these. I mean, we were just in Texas. I mean, like it was so fun, and obviously, I take a huge pay cut. It's a substantial. At the end of a year, it's a substantial amount of money that you spend on bringing people out.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But having my friends with me that I can like go to a strip club with is pretty fun.
Sure.
Or go somewhere else. Doesn't have
That's
to be
how
a strip
Lizzo
club.
felt about her backup dancers too.
Yeah. But it's been really wonderful to like share this with them and spend time with them and do things together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, at a certain point, I'm selling enough tickets where it's like, we're gonna penny pinch here, like penny. It's like the numbers I'm seeing now. Not to like, I'm not trying to be arrogant or anything. It's like I've been doing this 15 years, so I'm all surprised. I'm surprised by it. I never even expected it at this point to get to this point.
Yeah. When you're flying though, you're going first class. Yeah.
Only for the very long haul flights.
And where are they going?
Actually, we haven't. I'm doing Europe. I haven't actually decided financially if it like makes sense for me to bring them to Europe.
Oh, sure.
Because when I did Australia, I went alone.
Yeah, same
I
here.
hired a local piano player.
Oh, that's cool.
But like for Europe, it's just there's too many days between shows.
I
don't
what you
know.
mean. It's those international jobs.
Yeah, it's just a lot of money, and the guarantees and the door deals aren't the same as what you make
It's
in
wild.
America.
Sometimes
It's bizarre.
yeah.
It's kind of bizarre.
And the
is going
exchange rate sometimes. That
Yeah.
Australia exchange rate was brutal.
Yep.
60 cents? 60 cents on the dollar? God
Because
damn.
when you get like the payout, your walkout potential with like the Australian dollars, you're like, oh my god.
I got the paper the other day. It was in Canada, and I was just like, "Is this Canadian or American?" And I was just like,
I know.
Please be American. Please be American."
Yeah, it is Canadian. It's just such, and then you got to like do Canadian tax law or Australian tax law.
Oh my God, Canada! Like the merch, because it was
not
like a
even worth it.
theater, so it was like 20%.
Uh-huh.
They took 20%. Then there was the seller.
Yeah.
It was $200 a day, and it was just one of those where like.
It's better off not even bringing it.
I thought about lugging this bag around.
Yeah.
And I thought,
No.
yeah, it wasn't worth $300. That was awful.
100%. I already told my merch person. I said we're not bringing anything. to
I know.
Canada.
One day, once I get rid of these 15 boxes. Morgan, where can people find you?
Just go to morganj.com. That's JAY.com, and then all my tour dates will be there. And then follow me on Twitch because that's the thing I'm kind of like putting a lot of my energy into. I live stream and I play video games with fans. I do music streams, reaction streams, all sorts of stuff live on stream.
Great.
And yeah, it's a lot of fun.
We're not going to release this episode, but if we did, we put the links there. Remind me right of this. I just want to do a quick intro of like this is coming out before the election.
Yeah.
And I just want to say a little like, hey guys, we're not addressing it. Here's why.
It's on election
Oh.
day.
It's election day.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Who are you calling it? Who's it going to be?
I think Kamala will win. I think Tim Walz is just like such a shining light in
It
politics
sound like
right
that Vice debate. It does sound like the debate went very excitingly for him.
now.
Really?
I mean, it was just. I heard.
Yeah,
it was
that's a consensus that he did.
Oh.
That he really kind of shit the bed a
I'm
little
on a
bit.
Tim
different
Walz?
side of Twitter.
Waltz.
Yeah.
Why did he shut the bed? Every clip I see.
JD Vance's job. Talk about the debate thing we were talking about at the very beginning. That's what he does. He looks good, and I think, and then they talked about Israel, and like it's Waltz had to like do whatever dance he did, where he had to go against every principle he's ever had to fit into the company line.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can find me, the places, but more important, please subscribe on Spotify. Thank you to Spotify. Give us 5 stars. Join the Patreon if you can, patreon.com/downside. But if you're looking to save money, just subscribe on the Spotify. Even if you're watching on YouTube, just go do it right now.
Yeah.
Paige, do you want to plug anything?
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram at the Downside Pod, and also
On TikTok.
if you like stand-up comedy and want to go see an unconventional show, go check out Don't Tell Comedy. You can get tickets at don'ttellcomedy.com. We're in over 200 cities worldwide, so see if there's a city near you.
Oh yeah.
For a second, I thought you were going to say, if you want to see some unconventional comedy, go see Morgan J.
Oh, that too. No, but I mean,
you know what's so
kidding,
funny?
I'm
is
just kidding.
I had the same thought, but for Gianmarco Soresi.
no, but both of
and I
you
was like, I
have
wouldn't
done.
describe myself as unconventional.
Both of you have done Don't Tell shows,
We
so
have.
you might
have.
see somebody like Morgan or Gianmarco on
Yeah.
the show.
I feel slightly responsible
Wait,
for
did you just say you might see the next?
No, I said
Morgan
somebody
J, the
like
next-
somebody
We
like.
never talked
Okay.
about this, by the way.
Why do you have baby wipes? What's going on?
I felt the doo-doo coming on the drive over here, and this is in my glove box, and I just refuse anymore to not be comfortable when I take a shit somewhere. I refuse. Because I have a bidet at home.
I was gonna ask.
I
Yeah.
have a bidet at home, and after using the bidet and having to travel from place to place all over the world, I can't do it anymore.
I'm
can't do it anymore.
I've never got into it, and believe you me, I'm Italian.
A bidet?
No, I'd love to have a bidet,
This is gonna change your whole fucking life.
but I can't be carrying it around loose. I
You
got to bring
you
that
have
with
your
me everywhere I
backpack.
go.
No. Well, they have travel little side. When I travel like flights and stuff, I have like just like 5 sheets, or if they have the travel ones.
Here's why I don't, because toilet paper's been working out fine for me.
Has it though?
It's just working out fine.
Has it?
I mean, you know, it's.
Have you seen the thing where they put shit on a wall and they try to wipe it off with just a piece of paper?
Wait, what do they do?
Well, they show you like, you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They like smear
Like the difference between using something moist with liquid and just using a dry piece of paper, toilet paper, to wipe something down.
Sure.
It's a completely different experience.
Morgan's butthole is very clean.
You know it's clean.
This is the downside.
You're listening to The Downside
The downside.
with Gianmarco Soresi.